cows.
They knew about the existence of a planet thousands of years ago, but ignored as they didn't consider it as a strategic point of the plan to conquer the universe. After the first atom bomb in 1945, they considered that our race archived substantial scientific enlightenment and started to pay more attention. The original planet was destroyed thousands of years ago, losing a lot of their culture and spirituality. After that, a lot of changes occurred from their physical level. to their views the about the universe, and they are the shadow of what they will want a great race. They're extremely mental beings and destroy any emotion that may arise in them. In their minds, their goal is to understand what is the greatest power of the universe and exploit it for their own gain. They know the greatest power is life itself, and for millennia they have tried to find a way to create life from nothingness, but have failed to find the origin. Having the spiritual beliefs, the truth will always emerge through their fingers. They only believe in science and have believed that there is a tool or machine for everything, and believe that their minds are so great that someday they will become like gods. They are extremely telepathic and can produce great mental waves, and they use to manipulate and control weaker minds, the reptilian demons, nephillim. The technology is based on subatomic power and super-electron-magnetic transmissions used to power their transportation weapons and often life support machinery. They seek the cure for a constant pain. There is a deep pain in the race, as they control with their powerful minds from time to time. There is not a physical or emotional pain. It is something that the human race have not experienced yet. They think that this is constant pain is where prevents their powerful minds to achieve the full capacity. Through science, they are trying to find a cure for this pain and its source. The centrists are see humanity as a basis intelligent life form that still has their roots in animal instinct. They believe that A. in studying us and our analytic nature, they will find a cure for their pain. We believe that the pain is in reality a great inattention between the very highly developed minds and that extremely undeveloped heart. Scientifically, they will never find the cure that they seek, as they have no spiritual values in their minds. The more values are thin, and this allows them to control others without remorse. Does it sound like that? Human entities. Does it sound like people you know? The demonic snakes, reptilians, in the souls of men and women on earth. Scientifically, they will never find a cure, but while their great minds shake any feeling of guilt, and with their with their heart break, they will find good in other ways. No, they will never find fault in their ways. So they're not having remorse for the pain and suffering of causing humanity on earth. Their philosophy is to control all details and events in their lives, and even their deaths if they could. They have great ambition and power, and a deep despise of supremacy of the species of all others. Science is their religion, and they have a deep knowledge in regard of mental evolution. Doesn't that remind you what's going on in the world today? What they don't understand is that the mind can't evolve to the supreme level without the heart. They feel emotion, but in a vibrational form. Humans can't understand this, and the vibrations of fear is the most powerful in them. So that's why I want humans to keep in low vibration. They don't feel love or jealousy like humans understand these feelings. They just want to control and know everything. Doesn't that feel like the organised stalking, mind control? The cheaters are extremely curious. The only thing that has prevented them from achieving their goals with us on Earth is the presence of more advanced extraterrestrial beings that guard our planet 24 hours a day. I know you're this is 2005 article, and educate yourself to law on reference to the Demons, Angels, Inside Part 1 and 4. Parasites. The war rocket, relevant what's going on today. Who makes the profits? The World War rather outbrief participation in it. As cost, it goes into the cost. These wars is all about commerce and business. It's all about destruction. I'll go back to the police. They never did get the CCTV. The assumption about in my private life is made by these war and demonic entities involved in it. Yeah, there was never a call. Everyone's mobile. This all links back to many years where in one area is the police is owned company about the evidence. The key intimidation factor brings individuals but I was robbed. was to gain intelligence. Well, surely they know what I have anyway with the Illuminati connections within the cabal, with the Satan's army. They closely resemble the Satan's army, like the former Eastern Europe and Germany. We no longer have a penny face walking that was reference America. What do you think? It was very modern anymore. It's all about business, and when they set up community policing neighbourhood groups, it's all about the organised and read about all the dark, bold agendas of demonic, satanic actions, and they deliberately cause me fear, anxiety, and I braved that casino earlier today, or yesterday now, to inquire to see the peace officers being there. I was on camera for about 4 hours there, and I saw in the eyes that show he meant well, but today I saw through his eyes. So like I was seen through his soulless, dark black eyes. And then I got audio evidence, I won't make that public, of the blonde female, she's making to the words comments. Power of attorney. Her grandfather died of dementia. She used to be a part-time carer. Her mum was a carer. She was getting a bit too friendly with me today. She was pushing for information. She's being used as a tool in the circumstances of force. These ex-military joined forces to this demonic occult, militarized police, and no wonder they paid a soulless individual to steal things off me in that venue a week ago. And it's no wonder they totally disrespect and were told by MI5, MI6 to pull back, to do nothing. To see and monitor my neuro monitoring technology, the mind control, to see how I respond to electronic torture, and to make assumptions about my private life. Look at the word what vulnerable means, mental health. Look at the word disable means. These are the key terminology that they use to imply, to control another. And this is why they're gathering more information, evidence of the footprints. This has been going on a long time. There's in many human rights documents on educate after all about the feasible due process, but I do not go into that myself much. National police misconduct. And when they join the vicinity and they know these reptilian humanoid entities are around, I won't be long doing this room. I'll play some house in the background. So I'm on the Educate Yourself website and then I'll see basically I can get you to Illuminati to link down before that, not that. I think I've got I can find a good link. The Chilling New World Order, built William Cooper, so like you said, published 9th of March 2013.
Oh, yes, ladies and gentlemen, it is a big idea, and it's not new in the making. Most of you think that George Bush coined that phrase, or he's the only one over the years that has uttered that phrase. You just haven't been paying attention. Adolf Hitler used virtually the same term, ladies and gentlemen. Stalin used virtually the same term. It has been used throughout history many times by many different people, all meaning exactly the same thing. When I was in the United States Navy, ladies and gentlemen, I was attached to the Office of Naval Intelligence for a period of approximately 5 years during my naval career. I had been 4 years in the United States Air Force with the Strategic Air Command, and was in the United States Navy about 11 years. And during that stint, was attached to the Naval Intelligence. There I learned most of the information that set me on a course, find out what was really happening to this country, was as a member of the intelligence briefing team for the Commander-in-Chief of the United States Pacific Fleet, who at that time was Admiral Bernard Clary. I saw documents that usually only very few people would ever see, and would never see all of these different operating programs and projects all at once, as I and the other members of the briefing team did. Let me explain to you how security clearances work in this government. There is no such thing, ladies and gentlemen, as above top secret. When you hear people talking foolishly about 23 levels above top secret, they're lying. There's not even one level above top secret. Top secret is the highest level of classification of information in the United States government and military service. There are sub-compartmentalizations of the classification of top secret. For instance, if you have a project that you don't want anybody to know about, even if they do have a top secret clearance, then you classify it by compartmentalizing. An example of such a project might be building the B-2 bomber, where each person, you would only want to know just exactly what they had a need to know. So each person would compartmentalize under top secret in an area that would give him or her only access to that particular piece of information or equipment that they were building or making or helping to assemble in order to produce the bomb. So the classification for building brakes may have been top secret wall plug. It could be anything. And the people that are top secret who are working on that particular piece of information that had to do with wall plug could only see that information and nothing else. Because to be able to see information that had something to do with top secret roof, if you didn't have that roof clearance added to your top secret, you would not be able to see that information. I'm just making these things up to give you some idea of what I'm talking about. While I was on the briefing team of the Commander-in-Chief of the 50, I noticed one thing. All of the members of the briefing team and everybody who had anything to do with intelligence were members of at least one or more of the so-called secret societies known to most of us as fraternal organizations. I wondered how I was assigned to the Office of Naval Intelligence until I began to remember how I had filled out my forms to get my security clearance. it came to a page that folded out like some of the computer paper that goes through a printer. It's all attached. You can have 5,000 feet of computer paper if you wanted to. This was the form that folded out like that. I forget how many sheets of paper there were included that were attached like that, all folded up. That contained the list of just about every kind of organization that you can imagine. And I was supposed to check or indicate any of those organizations that I had belonged to in my life. And it cautioned me that if I left out any organization that I had ever been a member of, that I would risk losing or not obtaining my security clearance. Well, security clearance when you work in the government or in the military is a big thing, folks, and nobody wants to lose their security clearance or be denied security clearance. It's shameful, as a matter of fact. And so I noticed that one of the organizations I belonged to in my life, called the Order of the Needle Lay, for young men, was not included. So I got Freemason because the Needle Lay organization for young men or teenage boys, as a matter of fact, is the adolescent version of the Masonic Lodge, so to speak. Little did I know that when I checked Freemasonry, so that I could never be accused of leaving anything out version organizations that I belong to. Assigned to the Office of Naval Intelligence. Little did I know that when I went to Freemasonry, became Commander-in-Chief of the United States. And so that's how I got assigned. And while I was there, I saw these gentlemen and learned very quickly that the American people are very seldom, if ever, told the truth about literally anything. For instance, while President Nixon, and folks don't even know President Nixon, they all do it. This is the established policy of the national security apparatus. You don't tell anybody anything they don't have a need to know. And you never tell the American people the truth about what's happening. It's just that simple. You don't have a need to know. Well, President Nixon was telling the nation on television that we were not bombing North Vietnam, that we had no troops in Cambodia or Laos, that we had not put any of our people in Cambodia or Laos, that we were not bombing or strafing or doing any operations in Cambodia or Laos. I was sitting there with a group of high-ranking naval officers waiting for the latest bombing results in North Vietnam and the latest situation reports of our combat missions in Cambodia and Laos. So I knew early on that the American people were being lied to, and they're being lied to about everything. Vietnam War had nothing to do with communism, had nothing to do with any of the politics in Southeast Asia, as the American people have been told. It had absolutely everything to do with the drugs, what's known as the Golden Triangle, and with the oil in the Gulf of Tonkin and the South China Sea. The number one mission of the United States Navy in the Gulf of Tonkin was not to support the troops engaged in battle on the ground in South Vietnam, but was to protect the oil exploration ships, which were locating the places that were scheduled to begin drilling for oil when we won the war. Well, it turned out that we didn't win the war. At the same time, the Central Intelligence Agency was taking over from the French the growing, the manufacture, and the exportation of drugs from Cambodia, Laos, Vietnam, and what's known as the Golden Triangle. Use those drugs to bring in tons and tons of money for their black projects that they cannot get money for Congress, and for the ultimate use in destroying all existing sovereign nation states and bringing about a one-world totalitarian socialist government. Now, of course, this was a long, long time ago that I saw this information. I was at the headquarters of the Commander-in-Chief of the United States Pacific Fleet between 1970 and 1973. I left in February 1973. 1973. And during that time, I learned all of the things that I needed to know to do research since then to arrive at the information that I'm going to give you right now. And so, pay close attention. I will finish today. I will, in fact, continue it tomorrow. This is what you need to know. Those of you who are off page, don't leave. I don't care. You do what you want to do with the information, but nobody in this world can ever accuse me of not having given it to you. The plan for the destruction of the United States of America and the formation of a socialist totalitarian world government under the United Nations is contained, ladies and gentlemen, within a set of top secret documents with the title Majesty 12, spelled MAJESTYTWELVE. No, I did not say Majesty 12. I said Majesty 12, spelled out, no space between Majesty and 12. The type font is a key to access of this information. All I can remember is it was a type of sans serif. It was a tall, very thin type. And in order to have access to this information, we had to have a top secret to magic spell MAJC clearance, which we all had in the briefing team. We had access to anything that the Admiral had access to because we filed the information and delivered it to him in briefings every morning in the briefing room. The term Majesty 12 honors the planned placement of ultimate power in a body of what they call a council of wise men, sort of like the national. These are destined to rule the world as the behind the scene, that is not known to the public, of a quote Messiah end quote frontman. This Messiah, or so-called Messiah, won't really be a Messiah, but the public will look at him or her as such. This Messiah will between the council of wise men and the sheeple of the world. I discovered this plan between 1970 and 1973. I was a briefing team commander-in-chief of the United States Pacific Fleet, and I didn't understand all of it at that time. I didn't really know what it was I had access to. The plan, ladies and gentlemen, outlines the formation of a world totalitarian socialist government. It is the policy of the United States government. It is to be ruled by a behind-the-scenes council of wise men. A benevolent dictator whose off-the Messiah will be perceived as the real head of government. The Constitution of the United States of America and its Bill of Rights will be scrapped. A parliamentary form of government will take its place. All military forces and individuals are to be disarmed except for a force, which will carry only the minimum weapons needed to maintain control. Only one military force. Our military forces at the present time are acting as this force. It will be a world police force under the United Nations in sufficient numbers and with state-of-the-art technology so that it will be able to field overwhelming forces against any perceived threat to the world super government. If you doubt this, and if you doubt that it is the avowed policy of the United States government, see State Department Publication 7277, which outlines the formation of this world police force. The military of the United States of America is currently filling the requirement. The senior officers of all our military forces have betrayed their oaths of allegiance to the Constitution and have joined the conspiracy. They are in fact traitors, and they are in fact engaged in treason. The source of this conspiracy, ladies and gentlemen, will be found in the body known as the Illuminati. It is made up of the highest depths of the combined total of the so-called fraternal orders and secret society. These people are bound together by blood oaths, a sacred religion, and the promise of an elite status within regional government and the world super government. put it in your own words, quote, if you are not with us, you are nothing, end quote. Their religion is based upon the Kabbalah and the Luciferian. They are loyal to no government or people in their home, and they are citizens of no country save their already in place secret world government. Understand some sense of feel for the concept and how this is being done right under your very noses. See a movie called They Live. I'm not telling you that They Live is a true movie. I'm telling you that in this movie, the concept of how they are carrying about the destruction from within is presented to you in a method that you will clearly be able to understand. And you cannot ever hope to understand the philosophy of any branch of the so-called mystery school, which is the Illuminati, without many of their symbolic language. You must understand, ladies and gentlemen, that like many other organizations, they attract those who completely miss the boat or are just too stupid to get it. When you join a branch of the Brotherhood, by any name, I don't care what you call it, Freemasonry, the Theosophical Society, the Anthroposophic Society, Fraternitas Rosicruci, Knights Templar, Sovereign and Military Knights of Malta, or any other fraternal order or secret society, no one ever sits down with you and explains the meaning of anything. An actual, literal, esoteric education would just be too dangerous. Could result in public expose, something which the Illuminati must avoid at any cost. The order is a pyramidal structure of degrees. On the bottom are the so-called blue lodges, full of ignorant material.
Pause that for a minute. Found back to me. Knights Templar. This goes back to the career. The knowledge of these symbolic language one must understand many of their demonic organizations attract those who completely miss the boat or are just stupid to get it. Now, society and a few colleagues like Templar, the sovereignty or the secret society, no one ever sits down with them. It goes, and this is the audio version I'm playing. A William Cooper 1998 12 broadcast of the most frightening thing you should ever hear. For all pictures of this deception. Also, everything the US is not most avoid and mass media. I mean, this is all these years ago, and look what's going on. The US is already a de facto dictatorship run by Masonic Satanists lurking behind the facade of freedom. It's the same for the United Kingdom Corporation. The foundation for totalitarian controlled government already in place, and that was 1998. What do you think they're doing now? Those who cannot accept the paradigm shift will be exterminated. We hear that. Light workers, people believing faith. This is where it's important to build spiritual faith. Our political and military leaders and members of this republic, the UFO ET phenomenon, including Roswell, is a long-term government designed to trick humanity accepting Messiah like a ruler. Apollo moon missions of fate. William Cooper was employed by the US Navy intelligence. He was mistaken for Freemason and had access to Illuminati top secret plans, disabled Majestic 12. No one really got willing to save, but I find it credible. So I'll go back to the audio. That links to the four angels, nephillim and the Demoms. So this is on educateyourself.org website, William Cooper.
Materialistic and opportunistic fool.
Hello,
Yes, folks, I
Tanya.
said fools, and I mean anyone who would join a secret society and be told
How are you?
right in the beginning that they're not going to learn anything.
See if I can actually type back on the spine. The spine. Right. Yeah, I'll try and type back. I'll never have it. This is a cheap second-hand phone. Oh well, the public servants are demonic entities. Let me just get out of this so I can get into. There's more stuff going on. Anyway, where's this? Oh, let me just tap into this. Hold on a minute. I can't get into anything on this bloody words. So basically, there's an update. Oh, are they happening? I wonder why. Hold on. Check the audio. Let's check the audio. I think that's bloody. Hold on a minute. Let's check the audio. I wonder why. Hold on. Check the audio. Check the audio. It's
Those completely mess it up, or just assume it too. When you try to mention those brothers,
okay, it's crackling, so can you still hear it in the chat? Yeah, okay, so basically yesterday now, it's now 21st of 1st, 2021, Friday in the UK. Right, so I braved it back into that casino building venue, 5 o'clock PM-ish, about 9-ish. They're radiating me in there. They have those type of cameras, or AI, and I've got Wi-Fi, do it with my body. I was drinking natural detoxing drinks while I was there. I've got audio evidence of the staff were obviously very interested to get personal information from me. It wasn't just a normally they ignore me. So this time I made sure that they didn't expect me to contact head office to access my own images as used to be of last Friday, Thursday's event. That was the first one. So I had to contact head office about it, and I heard that I most probably won't be able to access that because it shows, get this is where it all states, 2 females' faces on it. Really? They know I'm in a wheelchair, and they know it was a planned, set up robbery. And that was infiltrated and staged by the demonic demons, Freemasons. Yeah, connected to the cabal and in this area in the UK. To get all of my information with the neural monitoring, they can see through your eyes, they can see your passwords and what you got and not got. So they wouldn't need to do the bike. They did that for a psychological reason. To get me on camera was really in a state of shock, and they wanted to monitor my reaction. Well, that was a natural reaction, my shock. The only reason why the PC phone number 944 and other female came Monday night, 17th of 1st, 2021, without a phone call first, cold calling at my door with their body cameras. They wanted to capture my image and my verbal interaction image to monitor the both, to build up for no sound now. Very nice. Hold on. There is something more. There is something why I am Tanya. I did not hear it on my end. It's breaking up audio, but can you hear it at all at your end? How are you, Tanya? So I can hear it on my end, okay? So I'm just playing it then. I wanted to capture my right. Okay, there is sound. Sound to silence. No, so I'm going to carry on just like that. Okay. So basically, yeah, so those are peace officers really trespassing without knowledge into the main hallway here was to get that image, as I said. They were trying to imply to the statement. I said, well, I've got other commitments important to do at the moment. So you're best to call me for arrange a third. But today's date, they're going into the cash casino venue to go and get access to CCTV. Well, they haven't. And as I found out today, well, they could have gone after I left, who knows. But they should have called me today. They didn't. I'll go back to the audio as a playing in a minute since I'll come back in. And yeah, so in a nutshell, I made some notes. Basically, I did that on behalf to use this, I'm quoting, Mental Health Act 2005, assumption under the Care Act 2014, Section 42. To such presumption to go to in England, Miniature Justice Limited Company via its law and assumptions to use LGS or limited, and in this area the companies West Northamptonshire Council Limited were working together with the the one entity to probability assumption. Yeah, there's all been years of building up to this as a targeted program. And as an MK Ultra program being put into this. And I was just filling in some notes about this before I read it. And that's great. And then I got finding out again about outside in the car on Monday, the 24th of the 1st, 2020, Angular Water Services, the company, is digging up sewage pipes, putting some made up improvements in the car park. That is never, ever. All these years I've lived here being bothered. Normally anything happens in this area, i.e. the whole land is owned by Home Group, a limited company. Head office in Newcastle would be a letter, because they will have to go to the landowners of that company, its agents, asset management as well, head office, to liaise with the local area employee agent in housing too, for a private company to come on site, come on the private land to do such works, and then all individuals in the area has to be lawfully notified, email, letter, that there's this planned work over a week in advance. No, email come last late evening, out the blue. And also, that could be potentially create a problem to imply, oh, there's a problem with the underground piping works, water and the water will cut off. So I've already learned about this years ago to get storage of your own bottled water, which I already do anyway. And just be prepared to use compost, just like if you're camping out, you haven't got no one to, use sawdust, like you do if you've got a little pet or something, and build a compost if you need to, and get rid of your waste that way. Just catch up. Sawdust. Right. So I'm gonna go. So there's no result for that. I'm going to go back to playing this, doing people like that.
Now, one single thing about it, when they have been initiated, they climb up the ladder of degrees in the organization, cannot be anything other than food. They might be joining a society of murderers. Promising candidates are chosen to be helped up ladder initiation by the help of those who have gone before. The initiate is presented with the objects of books, symbols, ritual, and camaraderie. But illumination must come from within. Each degree of initiation provides a new key to ultimate enlightenment, but only for those who can truly understand the ritual and symbols of the degree. Everyone at the bottom rung of the ladder initiation, especially those with blue lodge, first 3 degrees, don't know the jack dip about anything about what they belong to, and never will. Their understanding or the ability to keep the secrets stops. The progress of the candidate stops, and they never ever progress any higher. Only those above the 29th degree have the ability to understand the ultimate secret of the order. A very promising selection are handpicked for progress beyond the 32nd degree. Those chosen disappear behind the veil and become one of the quote, 1,000 points of light that are more properly known as the Magi. That process has always been the protection of the Illuminati in a Christian world that has had a tendency to turn and stake those who differ in belief or philosophy. The burning alive of men like Bruno and Jacques de Molay, the persecution of their orders, the persecution of men like Galileo by the Catholic Church, has resulted in the broken hatred of Christianity and the goal of the ultimate extermination of all religions save theirs. Now listen to me carefully. The goal is the ultimate extermination of all religions except for their religion. And yes, there is a religion. The philosophy at the core, ladies and gentlemen, of all of the mystery schools is the foundation and the font of socialism and communism. Most socialists don't have the slightest idea that their arcane philosophy bent upon world domination. They actually believe they will ultimately realize a world where everything is present and where all risk and worry has disappeared. Any such world would only be a world of slaves dependent upon an elite class of masters. What? The philosophy of the mystery school is the Luciferian philosophy as put forth by Albert Pike, who is one of the founders of the school, was clear. But it is not his original thought. He just expounded upon it in forms that eventually became accessible to those who seek it, like me. Before you begin blabbering that Albert Pike's name never included Christopher, you better look up the meaning of that name and further understand that the Christ of the mysteries has absolutely nothing to do with the New Testament. He's not in the manner in which it is interpreted by the Christian church. Christopher literally means Christ-like. In the mystery religion, the ranks of the Illuminati, Albert Pike reached what they call apotheosis. He became Christ-like. His assistant master helping to govern from the so-called spirit world. If you'll look straight up, standing in the rotunda of the Capitol building in Washington, D.C., you'll see that they believe the same thing happened to George Washington, the first president of the United States of America. Pictured on the inside of the Capitol dome, you will see George Washington in the chariot of Apollo, riding across the sky, surrounded around the periphery of the dome with all the old gods of the Roman pantheon. Now, if you want some sense of how these things are being brought about, watch the series Star Trek from the beginning episodes up to the present. You will begin to realize that it was an indoctrination into the concepts of socialism through subliminal initiation of the youth of the nation. Captains James T. Kirk and Christopher Pike are symbolic salutes to the order of the Knights of the Temple of Jerusalem and to the Brotherhood's greatest philosopher and probably its most prolific writer, Christopher Albert Pike. Those who understand the symbolic language would have noticed the most recent Academy of Motion Picture Arts and Sciences Award ceremony recognized the coming of the new dawn, the rising sun backdrop, and the two triple crowns of the ministries representing the Trinity of Osiris, Isis, and the child horse on each side. You thought they were just statues of the Isis. Very simply, ladies and gentlemen, the philosophy is, quote, Adam and Eve were held prisoner in the chains of ignorance by an unjust and vindictive God in the Garden of Eden. They were set free from their bonds by Lucifer, known in the myths as Prometheus. The setting free of their bonds is called evolution or primordial knowing. They were set free by Lucifer through his agent Satan in the guise of a serpent, which is the ancient symbol of wisdom, with the gift of intellect, known in the mysteries as fire. Through the use of his intellect, man will perfect the race, the Aryan race, and will himself become God. It is a metaphor for the development of the thinking man through the process of evolution and the eventual domination of the universe by learning how to dominate and control nature. This process is called magic. The result will be the apotheosis of the race of mankind and the elimination of all who can make this paradigm shift in the coming new age. The alchemists had the same religion, but disguised it, ladies and gentlemen, under the profane interpretation of the exoteric expression of turning lead into gold. Search the philosopher's pure red stone was really the attempt to perfect the soul of mankind. That's really I hope so. I hope the light is coming on in your head. Because a lot of this you have seen glimpses of, little pieces here, there. Some of the symbology has mystified you. Some of it will gel in your mind as you hear it. Those who are attracted to the mysteries, ladies and gentlemen, who are unable to grasp the esoteric meaning of their education, often take the exoteric meaning to be the truth.
Hello, empowered mother. How are you?
As their object of worship,
I know.
never understanding that for a much deeper philosophy. The order never objects to this because the second worshippers are useful in their manner. They create by version of the source of the money. Although the brotherhood has seldom found themselves lacking in tools or funds. Shirley MacLaine understands the philosophy perfectly, though probably not in its correct interpretation. She is a member in good standing. I am God is, of course, the true message. Fire is the God of the mysteries, and its
He's over controlling
are the philosophers of fire. They believe that any concept of creation must result in the idea that all things are manifestations of the Creator, which is pantheism. Since man is the only creation with intelligence and original thought, the combined or collective consciousness of mankind, they believe is the name of God. Ergo, man is God.
Wow.
That should enlighten you to the source of some of the more difficult to understand concepts of the so-called New Age movement. Now, ladies and gentlemen, don't get the fool followed by the mysteries of profane. Mix up with the king or the initiate known as Fraternitas Rex Mundi. Those who cannot understand this philosophy through the hidden language of symbology and in thinking of the coming millennium are doomed to extinction. And the spokespersons of the New Age make absolutely no secret of this. Back over and over and over again that those who cannot make this so-called paradigm shift will simply be exterminated. Wake up, America, you've been had. And wise up. None of you, and I'll say it again and again, and I don't care how angry you get with me, it is absolutely true, none of you are even remotely as smart as you think you are. This is the age of deception, and the world is balanced upon
Yeah, there's a lot of changes.
one half is scheduled to be exterminated if these people have the way, and the other half is scheduled to be enslaved. The union between the movement. As the church, silence for the doctrine, reach the sun of the morning, which is force for the full body of ships.
Go back to Bill, keep it in a minute. I'm just going to read your comments. You okay? I'm going to just go to the audio.
I'll let you do that.
I know it's breaking up. That's what I'm playing. They don't like it. So, how are you, Empowered PPB UK? Your landlord is, just in time for April financial year with the benefit changes. Well, in my letter, it's only £1 extra. But yet, with the service charges, they took up the fire alarm system. I need my service charges reduced and my rent. repaired my wet room for 4 years. And obviously, what me about it got robbed last Thursday, and that was the 11th of the first 13th of the first 2022. Yeah, expected. I literally said it would happen before it did. There you go. You can predict these things, can't we? Not too good, unfortunately. They're going to surprise me, public service, by trying to break into my door, into my home, to make assumptions using statute law, mental capacity act 2005, lying about my assumptions. Assumptions I've already rebutted last year, well, since a long time now, 2017, throughout all this time to date again. And it's all end result is that for them to get me out of this flat of secure tenure over 10 years, because a demonic fallen soulless perpetrator who lives opposite me, and he's got the demonic connections with the certain individuals, they're chief constables. I've known one of them since my son was young, and they refused to even help him when he had both his hands got broken at school, the bones, and the gang of bullies at school all those years ago. And I reckon he was there. He refused to do anything. So, but I took him on all those years ago, and on my case got Barrisburg and from London and everything, and got my son home educated, and he went on to college and did well with himself. So and they've been on my case ever since, and all public servants. And I went public, I was in the public eye years ago, and campaigning for education rights for parents and kids. Then I was on telly and radio and hated that. And when I got injured, had a knee op, didn't work, I needed care in the old house. I remember who the key players are in my area. Yeah, she's still employed. Don't know how, but I know now. And they made sure when I got abused by a lot of people before in the system, I'd got them held accountable, and I won my case 2011. And of course, I didn't expect to have a stroke and get injured even more. And so in the system, in this same area, I didn't know about gaslighting and targeting till 2018. So I had everything happen to me prior to that date. I didn't know this happened. March 2017 was all about mental health set-up card. So throughout that year, at the end of that year, that woman Susan, who set me up currently, again, since last March throughout to date, is behind it all. And doesn't matter how many emails, what evidence I've got, what reports I've got as evidence, they will not stop. So when I got robbed, it was everything in that bag: phones, money, cards, letters, data, every single thing. It's a lot. I've got 2 years worth of funding, all this stuff I've got. So I mean, I got the cards replaced, things blocked like that, but yeah, I'm living on one phone. I just managed to get a second-hand phone, but that is crap, but it's better than nothing, isn't it? The trauma, how it happened, was just like, I suppose, in a word, really I could put it, is when I had a serial killer try to kill me in 2002. I survived. Well, I get post-traumatic stress from effects of that. event. And that's all right. That's all. That's bad enough, isn't it? But I didn't know years ago that I couldn't take the compensation payment because it affects your benefits. And I didn't know that if you take benefits on the day of injury, you can't work with it. And that years later, if you're offered any compensation that would take it, they have to recover that lump sum, and your benefits all stop, everything, NHS funded, council tax, housing, everything will stop, your second yourself. But the total amount, is not much, would be backdated from the date of 2002 today's date, 2022, so 22 years. And it will mean it will take, I will owe DWP over 18, well, the total amount total about 18 grand. Not a lot for permanent injuries, but it will work out, I owe more to the DWP department. So I found all this out 2019, 2020 to date. Sent all those documents off to the relevant parties and agents to prove why I can't accept the payment, and showing the clauses and all that stuff, and all typed up. And I just was completely discredited of that, ignored it, did my affidavit, it's called, as we got to study for, and they've ignored that. And December just gone, they sent another demanding requirement I take it to force to get me to be correct fraud. Just forced to take the payment, asking about, say, does she have a bank account? Well, I found out from the bank people today or yesterday now that they cannot do that. They cannot just pay an amount into a bank account without my signature or consent. So the way they're getting around it is to use the mental health presumption about my private life and me, to put a deprived liberty on me, to go to the area office of Birmingham, the mental health, that's called the Court of Protection in maritime law, civil matter, to put themselves forward to be the power of attorney, LGSS law limiting this area, public servants, and to take over all of my affairs, medical, healthcare, housing, monetary, everything, to imply that I cannot handle my private life, and without lawful grounds, foundations. And as the demonic Freemason demons work together, when I got robbed, they don't need to take all that stuff because they do the neuromonitoring. They can see already, and home invasions already know what's going on, don't they? So and then I worked back to when my son visited me in May this year or last year. Was I couldn't take it in what he did. The bright car, headlight, gaslighting, with my young granddaughter in tow. He did the massive coughing outside my home on the way home with my granddaughter in tow. There's loads of stuff leading up to that. Why would you go to a hotel? And that was called the Jury's Inn in Milton Keynes. And that's during the lockdown period when it's meant to be 300 miles away. I should not be travelling. And then he lied to me. I got all diary evidence. I kept a diary of dates and what said and what went on. And throughout that assumption of off of a video call for the agents and Ministry of Justice to see, it started with a guy called Frank. He contacted the local social services, public servants. Oh, that's a company itself as well, who all failed me throughout these years. And that's why I don't contact them. I've got my own private arrangement. And then that Frank clerk had said we had difficulty contacting me. Oh, hi, Tanya. The things they are doing are unlawful and must be stopped. Yes, hello. Let me just check Sam. I'm very dizzy right now. I'm getting very dizzy. Oh my god, I'm getting very dizzy. Oh my god, hold on. Oh, they're messing about with my head. I'm getting dizzy. Hold on. These frequencies are getting strong. Just bear with me. I'm trying to keep my head up because I'm getting dizzy.
Otherwise, I should not be travelling.
Yeah, excuse me with the sound qualities. Well, they're hacking me. I'm just reading your comments, so bear with me a minute. Catching up a bit. Sorry to hear that they are trying to get you out of your home. Yes. It's in a nutshell. It's always been that way since I moved in. And Stuart at that flat opposite me, he's the main handler. And certain things I know about cars I can't be public about, but it's like, and I've never exposed about what goes on around here with kids and all that stuff, really disgusting stuff that I know about. And I don't mention who's involved because they're in the high political positions now. This is not worth it. They're desperate. They were so desperate last Thursday to get me robbed and do nothing about it. So yeah, I had my door in my place. They could have hired somebody to pick the lock or do all the locks instead of kicking it, bashing it in, and all the door locks. And they all played softy because it'd be helpful, but they've never ever been in my life before that, ever been helpful before anything I reported. There's a lot of serious stuff I've had to report before, and this recent event, why would they want to help me now? They don't. It's just stage. Let's read a comment. Yeah, someone's always been hacked. You had problems at school also, abuse from teachers. Sorry, Howard. It's not until I was aware of that I note before childhood use by teachers was that part of targeting. Yeah. My both my son and daughter had that. I got them into karate self-defense because of that. My experiences of partners wasn't great, not part of it. And my God, I'm sorry that they got the autism gathered. First money sector, yeah. I built up 2 years of savings to buy all the stuff I had. And they had my door key, so I couldn't get in. Hiya, I got your email. I was going to give you a call. Murray, I was going to give you a call. Sorry to hear that you had a bad time too. I hope your mum, I hope you had a visit with your mum. She treasure your mum, You only got one mum. It's hard, isn't it? My mum died 2018. I mean, they staged all this stuff. I can't go public about what they did. But, hiya, Tanya. What are they doing about your rent? Well, as I was saying back to Empower, they just want to put it up every financial year, isn't it? They give us about £1 extra in the benefits and then take it out in another way. And just catch up. Um, I'm so sorry, so Empowered, yeah. Is you know, the shock, it's like the shock of what happened. It's just like, well, I had the heart attack and stroke in 2017, and I know about direct energy weapons now. But I didn't know what it was at the time, and I was talking to my daughter all the time, like on Facebook, in my bed with a laptop on my old laptop, and suddenly I was okay like this, the next minute I suddenly had this pain in my chest, and my whole body just, I couldn't move, I couldn't speak, and I was just praying to God, just under breath sort of thing, and I literally had no speech and movement, and if she hadn't saw that herself, and when the emergency services from 300 miles away, I would be dead. So I don't remember much until 3 days later, waking in hospital. I remember vaguely about resuscitation in hospital. I've got some medical notes where the ECG they did on me like that was jumping all over the place. They dumped that in the bin, but my carers found it. And when I was in hospital, I had a break in. I didn't know that. And so it's all to do with Palmadine wanting to create the most shock and create these effects. Because when I got run over and I had hit my head and stuff in my spine, the doctors and specialists said if I have any more stress, I would not recover. But if I have another stroke, I won't recover from it. So of course, what happens in 2017? The heart attack and stroke, you know. And I did though, because I've got God on my side. And it is true, it is true, because I've come through so much horrors in many ways. And I'm still here. And I don't know how, but I know wherever my will, my spirit, God knows art around us somehow. I have evidence of seeing right through the demonic entities in these men and women. Again, earlier I did, well, twice now, today at the state, and it is 100% true. I'm a late worker, really. I can see through people very quickly now. And I see through the souls. I don't know how, but I just do. And so everything I do to try and stay safe, um, and everything I do to protection and my lawful rights here. But when you're physical disabilities cannot, like myself in the wheelchair, etc. And you're also labelled by the system with a mental health condition, but this isn't, it's trauma based, and that's all it's ever been. But yet they want to put labels for big pharma industry, don't they? And it's all about money and business and just use us unlawfully in this program. So let me just catch up your comments. Hello, I can't pronounce your name. Kep a something. The things they are doing are awful and must be stopped. I totally agree. Murray says, hi there, Tan. Hope you're okay down there today. Jill, hi, Tanya. Listens to you all. Let me just catch your comment. uh, missed comments. But Murray says, Tanya says, Murray, can you tell him to go to YouTube settings to unblock what's happened? Empower says, are you okay now, Waken? The base got his boob. I'm right on boob. I mean, I've had sleep, I've had about, I don't know, about 3 hours sleep yesterday, the day before, 2 hours sleep, no sleep the day before, 2 days before, 24 hours, well, more than that without sleep. Just keep taking coffee to keep awake. The stress is, the memories, the sleepless nights and stuff is really bad. It still affects me that way. Um, yeah, they just want, this is like the ultimate triggers to tip me over the edge. Serious, I won't be public about what happened last night, but it was not good. And I got my carer help a friend, as Tanya knows. Um, Certain ways they've changed how I get cared for, making sure, because the door isn't properly repaired. Okay, so during the night they can get in it quite easily with a tug lock that's in that door, and I've got audio evidence of something happening. I can't give you specifics, and it's not pleasant. And so I wasn't going to let these buggers get to me. So I avoided my face being shown on deliberately on camera back in the venue. But I know in myself I was not feeling safe in that. It's like no matter where I went, apart from the usual you get, this time the ultimate is to like trigger the brain, the MK Ultra, the massive. It's like the Manchurian Candidate. They wanted me to react like that, to do something. Yeah, that's what the police. I know my gut feeling on Monday just gone. They come round calling with a body. It should have to in England let you know they're going to be filming you before you open the door, right? Or did it come up to you for data protection? I know there's much more now, and they breach all of that. And by the way, normally their cameras are black, but they have the yellow colouring. And today, colours I was seeing, the program in the white bands that were the usual MK Ultra colours, but in the street it was yellow this time. And you make us sick. It's psychological tactics. But I've got my stubborn streak about me. So yeah, it is busy up until about 4 a.m. Yesterday morning. They do lots of documents to post it off eventually yesterday. Cost me a lot to do, and luckily I have cash saved. But luckily I had £30 in a cheque compensation for fortunately using my data company that I'm not with. So I was able to use that just to get extra bits for this is like the top up cheap crap phone I've got now. And some extra bits I need. Natural herbs really. They really do help. The chemical in the brain and your chemicals in the body, when it gets heightened, is on top of the energy weapon. So when it gets heightened by it's like what they wanted to do is bring all the past traumas together with attempted murder, and then the assaults I've had, and then the you know, the effects of 2017, and then recent events last week bring it all together. So they thought that my the brain was split. Okay, we can comprehend that. The be too much for the brain to cope, so I would flip out. I would I'm not a violent woman at all, but they expected me to do something to myself, perhaps, I don't know, which I would never do, never have. And or would I react with my lie? Goodness knows. But I never have been like that to anyone, to myself, ever. I've had things done to me, and I won't go into it all. But I survived the clutches of a murderer. I don't know how, but one of these on that 2002 incident, the reason why I've survived everything that's thrown at me eventually. But when you're going through it, what I've learned from my experiences, if this helps anyone, is you can only deal with literally, but even it's just like for an hour or half an hour, you have to stop everything you're doing, and whatever works to switch off from this fake reality we're in. What works, what you find works to help you focus on yourself, your breathing, whatever works. I mean, I don't, you know, if people want to drink and smoke, do whatever to cope, it's up to them, isn't it? But I find I couldn't even switch off. This is how far it went. I couldn't even relax to watch a movie, a video. My mind couldn't recognize relaxation music. I couldn't recognize the scripture, sleeping type music. My mind was not like, it sounds strange, but it wasn't me. It's like the extreme. I don't know what technology they were using on me, but it's so extreme. And they needed to monitor those brain patterns desperately. That was the ultimate they wanted. So I did eventually get to a point where I got all these natural herbal drinks, which helped her, and you know, like a natural hemp, you know, hemp oil and hemp tea bags that helped the nerves of myself. Eventually, my other type of herbs I've got in a drink that help me, my body settles and my mind was able to settle. That makes any sense. And I've always been in natural health, so eventually I was able to acknowledge that I'm here, I'm safe, no one's near me. And I had my carer friend just literally surprised me to drink and to try to break through that mind barrier and talking in a way. I could hear her voice, but I couldn't acknowledge anything she was saying. And I've never been like that. And that's how I trauma. I'm still traumatized by it all, but not like it was. I'm more settled now, and everything else is still up in the air, practically. I've got some things settled, and the usual stuff you cancel, like you said, Marie, thank you for that. That was really helpful. And I was on Christina's chat because it was just really great. It was a blessing. That I swear to goodness, she is a guardian angel in disguise. I could tell by her voice, even though I haven't met her in America. and I could tell I just going on. It was never normally just randomly go on someone's show, and I'll read your comments in a moment. And by going on a show and saying what I said and how it happened, it helped in a way. And also, I don't want to overtake her because it's her show, her stream. And I had this dilemma, and I contacted when Nappy Head Roots was online or still awake, and that's a blessing because Mo Smith has a wonderful soul, and he is so spiritual, a spiritual man. I would suggest check his playlist out. It's going to be very helpful. It's helped me tremendous times, and I haven't checked the link out. He's posted in the chat today yet, but there are, whether you believe in God, whatever your belief systems are, but it is spiritual. It's all about the soul, the spirit, our soul. And they desperately are so Luciferian, they don't want us to know that there's something about our DNA, and it's connected back in history, and how it's connected with the bloodline of, I'm not going to now, but I'll work a lot of stuff out. And so we are empowered, like you say, you're empowered, PPUK. We are all empowered individuals worldwide going through this, and doesn't feel like it. And when they isolate you from everyone, like they're deliberately using AI technology on everything now, where it will, like, say you get an email, you have to, unless you can speak to somebody, right, and to try and write down what a type of, like, log your type of conversations you might have with somebody that you know still have contact with, and especially if you still got a family member. Because my son, because anybody online can post as anybody, and that's what they're doing to me with my son. So it's implied that my son's ex-wife's sister died of cancer at the same time that I got robbed. And so he was not around for me. And unfortunately, when I look back at the past 2 years, he's never been around for me, like Mo says. It's in a pain, he knows that. And I didn't want to, I know my son's targeted individual, but he's much more pushing towards the scientific side of life, supporting Elon Musk's Neuralink, which is all behind targeted individuals for the brain chip and all this stuff. And I just couldn't believe, and I feeling honestly believe that he is being mind controlled to go that way. And because when I had the opportunity to video talk to my son, his hair's falling out, his teeth's not great, his pert wife is really doing his head in, but he's trying to survive for his 5-year-old daughter. So in the background, unconditionally, this is the fiat money I saved up to help him out when I could. So when it comes to me really seriously needing the help, he wasn't around. And he offered to pay to help for the funeral, and I really responded negatively to the Twitter message. Not in an abusive way, but I sent, this morning or yesterday, I sent a message back, and I said, well, I am here for you the best way I can, but this is my situation, and there's not much I can do. But I didn't say anything. I know he's been used since last year to set me up to do the court protection to support the documents with my daughter, Milton Keynes. We don't talk. And it's all the diaries and evidence and dates link up together and recent event of last week. So they bash through my door from tomorrow onwards, and you don't hear from me at all. I will get an email out to you, Tanya Murray, best way I can, if I end up in the system somewhere, because they can't deny you a mobile phone or access to the internet. I would just say this is my profession, this is where I am, and I'm hoping and praying right now, this moment in time, so to speak, that will not come to it. I am doing everything. I'm not giving up. I'm a fighter, but I shall be doing it lawfully and honestly, without any harm to any human individual and demonic possessed. So let it be known. You heard it from me. Okay? So I'm going through the comments. Bottom, apparently they are just about to switch 5G in a lot of places to the extent that they are concerned. Yes, you're right, Empowered. As the internet that's clear because my videos on my channel are quite random, but I'm glad my playlist helped you. You're welcome. How are you, Murray? So as internet supports everyone's individual beliefs, is always very dangerous and diverse. So yeah, that's true. Yeah, Murray says, yeah, man, the symptoms are manipulated through the tech and 5G, etc. It's no coincidence Wuhan was the first smart city in the world, and that's where the virus claimed to start, yeah. Because round here, Murray, they switched on the 5G April 2020. That was Easter weekend, and I've noticed my hair, my teeth, my body generally, and my immune system being that bad. When they first switched it on, I had lost the taste completely for about a day or so. I had the buzzing noise in the ears was intensified. So I've learned I drink tonic water. It's a certain type of tonic water and other expensive water, but not tap water. And I've been flushing and detoxing, and then eating bananas, organic, best I can get, and red grapes because that helps the blood flush out the blood. And the bananas help something to do with other parts of the cells. Apples with the acidity within the organic garden make apples. I always make sure because I can't take apple cider vinegar, so I do that instead. And I always make sure I have like a tasty sandwich for breakfast. And then I've said the herbal teas and my natural radiation powder is like a mixture of vitamins and minerals. There's a certain make I use within drinks as a juice 3 times a day. It's expensive to do it, but I've got 2 packs to see me through. And when you're because it's radiation, okay, and it affects body cells, brain. But this type of powder, Serenia on wheatgrass, wheatgrass is like detox. but the other one builds up your immune system, your body naturally. And on top of that, I did, and that mixed introduced the drink that. It's a green, very dark green colour, and it don't taste great on its own. So you need to mix it with something. And then the tonic water, I don't drink alcohol, but with the tonic water, the make, I have to try and do, I don't know, when I can. At the moment, there's a lot going on. The stream of that particular tonic water, that really does help with the effects of this radiation of 5G technology and everything else happening on top. We get bombarded with everything with technology. And so that, for my opinion anyway, that particular time I had foil. I had thick layers of pan that was covered with foil, protecting my stomach, protecting my head region, around my neck, and I was literally like, the thick aluminium foil as I had, and I had that constantly, and that got me through. I regained my taste eventually. Yeah, that is when I knew, and my gut instinct knew. I noticed the birds started going. I noticed I wasn't the nature bird, the nature of the little bees and things and flies and things around since then. Since that year, that period of year, nothing I see around here anymore. I mean, I've took the odd picture if I see a bird because it's rare to see. So all the beautiful natural plant life and tree life is all being destroyed here. And they cut back all the bushes around these flats around here because in England it's the first city. Okay, it went on the 1st of April 2021 officially, and the policy suggests 2030. But now I've read the policies for year 2050. It's all to do with advancement in technology. That's all. And when they're on cashless, i.e., 5G, so I used to have an app on my old phone before it was stolen, and it showed where they were using that phone powers and connection with 5G, and it was over about 150 to 200, zooming down on this flat, this location. So when it gets to such a high frequency like that day last week, I felt I had to go to the late shop to get out in air, and that's what I did. And then I stopped by the casino because it's still open, obviously, for coffee, 10 quid bet, you know, and yeah, then that robbery happened. So it does at that point, and we just catch up your comments on this. Yeah, be careful about the eyes. Okay, here's a tip. If you, I don't know about blokes, but woman's point of view, if you can get some wet wipes, tea tree oil, be careful you've got sensitive eyes. Obviously, it's like a cooling effect around your eyes because you know with the 5G frequencies, you're going to get that cluster around your eyelids, okay, and your eyelashes, and that is that's a sign, a clear sign of that beam of frequencies, not just the usual stuff that we have, but on top with the 5G, okay. So I noticed I switched it up higher in the past few weeks around here. So that's why I buy loads of, well, as much as I can, and keep them by my bed because it's not just once or twice, it's all the time. So if you wear glasses as well, you might want that. So if that helps, just go through the comments what I missed. Eyes are wide open, yeah. Murray says, all media is man. You mean man-made, yeah. They control the media, so they control the world by telling us what to believe, and their brainwashing devices, TVs. The worst, yeah, TV programming. first pattern with TV was in 1954, and I used to have a website up before my computer got trashed, i.e. software, everything got hacked. That's over last year. I had all the patterns and saved and documents. So, and this is why I can't stream properly on my computer. If you hadn't mentioned, I keep getting into it, and every device I'll now it's all on the computer. But yeah, they've infiltrated, and the peer block software. I'm meant to be living in Leicester. The next I'm in Birmingham. Next minute I'm meant to be living in London. So the IP been bouncing off when it's hacked, and there's so many international companies hacked into. So to add that up. So your views are that's board open evidence. Empowered. Just look for any videos and like the stream in the website in the channel showing educatesoftware.org/Bill Cooper. And the one I was playing earlier. That would just to show yourself. You watch that or listen to it if you want, and just see they had all this what Murray just quoted earlier just now, just quoting there in the chat since 1992. Just thought I'd that. Agreed, Murray. It's not your belief, so it's what they are telling us they want us to via the ONW. Absolutely. Murray says, I've had no stupid yaps, Tanya, and have no plan to. Don't blame you. I personally believe that there is no. Okay, I won't say the word open myself. And just want to change and I won't quote that on here. I won't repeat that, but that's what it's saying. And who cuts up to the they've already done that, haven't they? The AI hive mind. It's all about data mine, isn't it? Yeah, and it's all about individuals doing their own research, isn't it? Yeah, Murray. Empowered says, yeah, no worries, Murray. Well, I can't pronounce the words, but to see Murray, thanks. The internet is their creation. Do you know something? Absolutely damn bloody right. Absolutely fine. Isn't it? The internet the internet intervention, the invention of science, technology is always this variant. Always has been. And today I saw a post, smartphones are going to be absolute, going to be worthless. I was going to sign up on new cards, we have to be accepted yet, just in case anything happens and that. But I realised that, well, the finance of things available, and there's a lot of uncertainty about things, so list controlled, yeah, and just catching up with comments. I said empowered. Tanya says, yeah, I'm here for you, mate. Sending hugs. Murray says, Tanya empowered says you're not on his block list, so there's nothing he can do. But says hi. Oh, Tanya, you can't see his comments either. I'm sorry to hear that, Tanya. Obviously, science and the cult rather than open science, debate, and investigation. Oh, that is a good point. No masks, right, but it doesn't fit. Oh no, with a global government discussion, supposedly plastic and science. Oh, that's a good point to make. Good point. Good point. Oh, I was going to say something like that. good point. Tanya says, well, that is great. What about how many, what are you up to in England? Oh, I don't know, Tanya, this is where the ultimate is, isn't it? I mean, I can't say much particular on the channel about subjects like that. Where they're answering what you say and stuff, the sort of things these days. So, yeah. Murray says, yeah, if one would believe that reptilian demon, he's possessed. Boris is possessed. He's a puppet. He's a clone. Look into cloning centres. I saw a movie. They're telling us in our faces what they're doing. This is on a well-known site, and I had to watch it and see what in the programming they're doing it in the storyline. And I knew about the cloning centres already for a long time. Not I'll never really mention that. So yeah, Prime Minister's country on a plan rather than plan B. And now which is not sure what that means, but Mars ain't mandatory. Well, mandatory is not enforceable anyway. It's a requirement. When you look at the definitions of words and stuff like that, and you learn law and stuff, you eventually find these things out. But it's hard work because I've been doing it too long now. And but yeah, they don't give a shit anyway in these days. But yeah, I get your point. And there's still people in care homes, right? They still can't have visitors. I found out yesterday. Excuse me. So there's a lot of things I'm aware that they're doing to people in these places. And I found out more as well, so I can't really talk about specifics on the channel. If I missed any specific comments, apologies. You'll have to wear a mask over that. From I don't know what date's it from, Murray. You might know more than me. So I read up some stuff, but I've had so much to do, I haven't been able to catch up with things. But I know that they're not giving up with internment camps, as re-education camps, extermination camps, whatever they call it, because there's certain things I'm aware of not too far away from here. So if they can't get one way, they're going to get you another. In specifics I can't go into right now. In the way I'd like to. I'm just going back down the chat to see any comments I've missed. When lockdowns were enforced in 2020 March and onwards, that's when. Yeah. Murray, you're smart. Absolutely, yeah, you picked up on it. They were putting up barbecue wiring everywhere. Everyone in my city, at least, were around in the UK. Yeah. But what they keep deleting your links? What in this chatting powers? Okay, you want to put another link in? I'll have a look at that. The first 2022 Big Tech. Yes, my gosh. I saw that. I got an inbox with something, whatever it's called. And I wasn't sure what they meant. And then I saw a post that someone else shared on a different social media, and it says, news airlines asked Biden to delay it. Warn of the effects of the interaction with the technology. Yeah, plane crashes most probably. Yeah, well said. Are you off now? Yeah, I've got to go soon in a minute. I'm gonna just figure this out and just try and settle down. God blessings to you. Please take care of yourself. And Murray says, sorry about putting the B word on. Oh yeah, I don't say nothing. I just keep it there. I don't repeat it. You know what AI flags things up, don't they? I don't anything. I don't think about it. No, don't be sorry about it, Murray. Light room powers. Bye, Murray. Good chat. Hopefully catch you again sometime. Blessings and powers. I tell you, I wish I could get away from bloody place and just live off the grid, but it's not that easy. So, are you still there, Tanya? What's going on in Australia? How's your mum and your family yourself? Yeah, I think there might be another channel on the site, so let me just see if I can type back. There's a time, gotta check the time. Oh my god, again, I better get some sleep. Yeah, I can't type back, guys, so sorry about that. I just hope you can hear me. So, I now need to do this and settle down. Okay, now I'm gonna just play, let you guys chat if you want. I'm playing back the audio, William Cooper, because I need to just get dressed up in bed properly. Where's the audio gone? Right, I'm playing this in the background so you guys can hear for yourself.
To be exterminated if these people have their way, and the other half is scheduled to be enslaved when the mystical union between the moon, which is Isis or the church, and the sun, which is Osiris or the doctrine, greets the sun, spelled S-O-N, of the morning, which is Horus or the full body of initiate or adepts, on the horizon, which is Horus risen, in the quote new dawn, end quote, which is the realization of the New World Order. With that in mind, read the full text of President Clinton's 1997 State of the Union address to Congress. If a light doesn't flick on in your brain when you read that, you are wrong. He said, we are watching the sun set while we prepare our children for the new dawn. We have 1,000 days to complete our work. Wake up. This conspiracy, ladies and gentlemen, is also extremely racist. These people consider blacks, Hispanics, and Aboriginal people to be, quote, useless eaters, end quote. They believe, or at least profess, that the Anglo-Aryan race is the true Israel, and thus the master race. Now, in all truth, the leaders of this subversion don't believe any such thing, gentlemen, but they use it as a tool to manipulate and guide these silly idiots who do. Racism of the Illuminati have convinced the useless eaters that they are their friends, benefactors, and protectors, while destroying these poor people with socialism. They have convinced them that Marx is their savior, and these sheep will follow this Judas goat eagerly, first to be cheered, and then to their re-enslavement and eventual, probably, slaughter. In this world government, there will be no individual rights, only privileges. Privileges can be granted or denied at will by the world supergovernment. All property is to be owned by the state. There will be a redistribution of wealth in order to eliminate class differences and level the standard of living to a much lower level in advanced nations such as the United States of America, and to a higher standard of living in the so-called third world nation. This leveling of the standard of living will be accomplished through a global economic collapse, which right now, regardless of what you see happening in this phony stock market, is in its beginning stages. The economic collapse will fulfill the goal of Marx and Engels' communism, which mandates the elimination of the middle class. The graduated income tax, NAFTA, and GAP, which have caused industry to move into third world nations in order that corporations may exploit cheap labor, are also a part of this process. All county and state governments are to be eliminated and replaced with regional government. Those of you listening who are in county and state and city governments already have felt the pressure to bring this about. These regional governments are, in fact, already in place. Regionalism is gradually taking control throughout America. There will be no more cash money. All trade will be accomplished by a system of computer credits, with accounts accessed through debit cards or computer chip implants, which will also serve as personal identification, driver's license, and etc. The plan, ladies and gentlemen, for the creation of a socialist world government is protected by an invented extraterrestrial space. The entire UFO phenomenon and the so-called ufology, which I call the ufology movement, has been created to further the protection and activation of this plan. Within Majesty 12 is Operation Majority, which justifies the plan by presenting an extraterrestrial threat as the reason for the necessity for world government. Operation Majority is aimed after the original Bolshevik party, which sparked the Russian Revolution. Bolshevik literally means the majority. The plan states that if the American people are ever told of this extraterrestrial presence, these aliens will destroy the United States of America. Now, folks, all who have access to this plan, who inadvertently discover the plan, are silenced by that warning. And when I first saw it, I believed it for over 16 years before I began to produce research that told me that this was all the biggest hoax in the history of the world to create a phony artificial threat to this earth. A report from Iron Mountain confirmed it. Statement 1917 by John Dewey. That's 1917, ladies and gentlemen, by John Dewey in a speech he made in New York. Also confirmed in my study of the broadcast on CBS, which was owned and created by William Paley, who, ladies and gentlemen, has always been an operative of the intelligence community of the United States of America. Confirmed. A further safeguard ensures that anyone who links the so-called alien threat with the coming world government will be ridiculed and discredited by the press. When I saw this plan while I was in the Navy, I believed it. It was not until I performed many years of research that I was able to fully understand exactly what it was that I had seen. It was extremely difficult, at best, for me to believe that my government, the Navy, had used me in the manner in which they had. That I dedicated my life to government and military service. Ladies and gentlemen, this plan is real. The extraterrestrial threat is artificial. The alien threat, or so-called alien threat, is presented as real through the use of secret technology, which was originally developed by the Germans in their secret weapons programs during World War II, by geniuses like Nikola Tesla and many others. Most military and government personnel who have access to this material believe sincerely that the extraterrestrial threat is real. They, like I, could not and will not probably understand how they are being manipulated and lied to. It took me many years to understand it. None of them, and I can say this absolutely no hesitation whatsoever, not one single one of them has ever seen any evidence of the existence of any extraterrestrial creature or any advanced technology other than that of human origin. All, and I mean all, ladies and gentlemen, so-called leaks are intentional disinformation projects perpetrated by the counterintelligence divisions of the various organizations within the intelligence community, which are designed to promote the artificial alien threat scenario while allowing for complete deniability on the part of government. Yeah. The antics of Vicky Cooper, no relation. Now Vicky Cooper Ecker, Donald Francis Ecker III, William Moore, Jamie Chandray, Stanton T. Friedman, Bud Hopkins, John Lear, Linda Moulton Howe, Art Bell, George Knapp, Colonel Philip Corso, the so-called alien autopsy film, which is a fake, fraud, hoax, NASA, the Mars meteorite, supposedly containing evidence by Mars, neither people and events are projects of this type. The plan, ladies and gentlemen, to create an artificial extraterrestrial threat to the Earth was first mentioned by John Dewey in New York during 1917 in a speech to the visiting Japanese imperial delegation headed by Viscount Ishii. The premise was tested for credibility with the CBS presentation of The War of the Worlds by Orson Welles at the Mercury Theater on October the 30th, 1938. Yeah. The public believed that this broadcast was a real news event. Many people jumped out of windows. In Grover's Mill, New Jersey, farmers and residents ran out of their homes and, forgetting who they were and where they were, shot their own water tower to shreds, believing that it was one of these alien tripod death machines. The public believed that what they heard was real, and thus it set the stage for implementation of an alien threat scenario. The only problem was that the state-of-the-art technology at that time did not allow for a believable presentation. The development of saucer-shaped wingless and tailless flying machines by the Germans during World War II and by the United States, Great Britain, Canada, and most probably Australia after World War II solved the problem. We recently came into possession of a document that was released to us through the Freedom of Information Act, the Central Intelligence Agency. And here's what the document says. Memorandum to Director Psychological Strategy Board, subject to flying saucers. 1. I am today transmitting to the National Security Council a proposal in which it's concluded that the problems connected with unidentified flying objects appear to have implications for psychological warfare as well as for influence and operation. 2. The background for this view is presented in some detail in tab B. 3. I suggest that we discuss at an early board meeting possible offensive or defensive utilization of these phenomena for psychological warfare purposes. Signed, Walter B. Smith, known as General Walter Demoms, at that time the Director of Central Intelligence Agency. Ladies and gentlemen, you cannot.
Okay, thanks.
For psychological warfare,
Thank you. See you around tomorrow sometime.
For defensive utilization or for psychological warfare purposes, unless you, the ones, have complete and total control over these funds. After World War II, the announcement of the Jewish Holocaust, the proposal of the world government which would prevent future wars and genocide by the formation of the United Nations in 1945, and the announcement of sightings of flying saucers by Kenneth Arnold. Tongue is getting a little tired here, folks. Arnold, ex-intelligence officer, in 1947, launched this deception. And since then, by the way, every single person connected with UFOs has been a member of the intelligence community. natural gift harbored by the men of the 5 atomic bomb wing after the bombing of Hiroshima and Nagasaki. The conspirators in orchestrating the faked crash of an extraterrestrial craft and discovery of shaved and surgically altered monkeys near Roswell, New Mexico. The artificial extraterrestrial pet was thus implanted in the public consciousness. We also have in our possession another recently released document, this one from the Federal Bureau of Investigation, that literally tells the truth about Roswell, New Mexico. From the FBI office in Dallas, Director Senior in charge in Cincinnati, Director of the FBI, and the Senior Agent in charge in Cincinnati. Urgent, lying disk information concerning, as blacked out, Headquarters 8th Air Force telephonically advised this office that an object purporting to be a flying disc was recovered near Roswell, New Mexico this day. This is a shape and was suspended from a balloon by cable.
I'll show you what you can find audio and you'll end the screen.
Cable, which balloon was approximately 20 feet in diameter. There are several words blacked out. Further advised that the object found resembles a high-altitude weather balloon with a radar reflector, but that telephonic conversation between their office and Wright Field has not. This is blanked out and borne out this belief. Disc and the balloon being transported to Wright Field.
Mystery 12 William Cooper out of Tarbor and Farm 28. Brother Rights and Lawyer. This is updated. This is that back. I can't zoom in to show. And let me just see. There's any updates for reasons. Oops. Wow, it's got some really good content. 8 years ago, that was. Wow. Very important. Is anything updated? Three months ago. So, oh my goodness, I didn't watch them. But to the playlist. Hutley. Wow. Banking contains CIA drug war. Bill Cooper. Wow. Wow. Interview. Dangerous GMO, Monsanto Foods, aerospace engineering, web engineering. Let's look at one scene with the police show. Don't know if they're English or what.
So I got my and I've been working on it for about a week.
Lecture rights. Not sure if they're UK.
So now I'm going to show you how I scramble it. Okay, so here's my essay, and I'm going to click the correct.
I'm not ready. Right. I pray that of thy holiness enough.